Let's see, where did we leave off from the last video? I was there. We left off there, but I know. I just messing with you. So Lex, Church on Sundays, you want to subscribe, you say, you want to subscribe, you want to listen to them in all succession, you say, because there's all kinds of good stuff we're going to talk about, you say, and so you want to make sure you subscribe to Church on Sundays, you say, and I said, friends, because we all need to evolve to the level of understanding that we're all in this together. We're all in this together. We all brothers and sisters, and we all must call him God. I don't care what religion is out there. I don't care what religion. We don't need religion. Do you understand me? We don't need religion. Do you understand me? Because religion's man-made, and everybody's got their own little version, and it's nothing but an argument. You know, the best thing, one of the things that really described religion to me one time was this story about, and I can't remember exactly where this is, but it's kind of like in the Holy City or somewhere. I can't remember exactly where the story was, but there was this ladder, and there's many different religions that are present in this particular area. Somebody will know. I just remember reading the story, and it was the poignant thing that made the sense about religion, and it was about this ladder that's leaning up against this building, and nobody would take the ladder and put it away. And the reason why they wouldn't put it away is because nobody could agree on who the ladder belonged to, so they just continue to leave it there for years. Really? Oh, really? I mean, so to me, that describes religion right there. Right there. You know, it's like nobody can agree, so we'll just leave the ladder there. And then nobody can put it, you know, brother. No need for religion, just relationship. And we in the last video talked about relationship, and the relationship through a format or a process or a practice or whatever you want to call it. You just got to be disciplined with it, and it's about relationship, and it's about and it's a prayer in a time where you can spend with God, where you got your heart, mind, body, and soul. You're doing this with your heart, your mind, your body, and your soul. And then the other part of it is like, be still, know God. So, you know, it kind of like connects, you know. Be still and know God. Okay, right, we'll do that. And then we're sitting there, and we're being still, and then knowing God. Okay, so, but it's not just about sitting down and being quiet. Okay. So I first started out, and I talked about how I kind of went through the process to get up and do it in the morning, and then and do it in the evening. Hell, a funny story. Let me tell you. Funny story. One time, and this was there was a little bit of further process down when I was becoming more and more awake and consciously aware and self-realization, all that kind of stuff, you know, which we're going to get to, but it was a little funny story, you know, and I went to bed one evening after I'd meditated, and I said, God, you know, please just get me up tomorrow morning, would you? And so I had a bed in the basement, and I was sleeping in my bed, and it was nighttime. And above me was a window, right? So bed, windows, and then bed, and then window, and then bed, and the window. And I had a cat. One time. I called my kitty Khmer. His name was Khmer. I love that cat. He's great. I don't want to get into that because it's kind of emotional, because we all know when we lose a pet eventually what it brings up inside you. So one time I'm laying there in bed, and I'm not awake, but God's got a sense of humor. You little bugger. Oh, gee. So my cat Camaro was sitting up on top of that window ledge, right? He's sitting up on top of that window ledge, and he decided to jump off. And where did he jump off? No, he didn't jump off to the left or to the right. And Camaro was at I think he was like 18 pounds. And he jumped off this window ledge. He didn't go left, he didn't go right. He landed right on top of me, and he landed right on top of my stomach. And, oh my gosh. And he just jumped, and if you can imagine, all of a sudden, boom. And I was like, whoa. And that's how I was woken up. And I'm like, oh. And then I realized that my cat just jumped on my stomach, and it came from the windowsill. And then I thought to myself, the immediate thought that came into my head was that I had asked God to wake me up the night before. He's a funny guy. Yeah, he is. So anyway, I started out in the beginning, and I'm telling you, I started meditating, and I couldn't sit still for 15 minutes. I mean, I could not sit still for 15 minutes. I mean, it's a prayer that you pray with your heart, mind, body, and soul, okay? And that be still. Be still means to be quiet, too. Like if you're doing this, you need to do this. You don't need to sit there and talk, hey, God, no. This. So be still means like quieting and everything. Well, you will, if you follow what I'm telling you, will find a challenge to quiet your busy mind. Because we got some busy minds. And I couldn't sit still for 15 minutes. And I mean, the thoughts, of course, at the time, I owned a business and was like in the business and the thousands of thoughts that are cruising my mind, and it's like chaos. I mean, when you finally decide to sit down and try to quiet your mind, and your mind just keeps going and going and going and going, it needs to stop. So I first started out, I couldn't sit still for 15 minutes. And, in my efforts to try to focus, was to, I would sit there and I would go, and I would just be sitting there going, God, 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 and picture in my mind, like a cross and bright light coming from it, and just kind of visualize light and just constantly go in my mind, God, 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 God. And then, I went through a period of time where I would do that every time I would try to, and it took me through that process of doing that till I could finally quiet down, and then finally, and then I'd be like, and then I would go into, thank you, God, for all the blessings that you've given me. Thank you for all the blessings that are to come. I love you so much, God. Thank you for all that you do for me. Thank you for bringing the truth into my life. Thank you for showing me. Thank you, God, for all the love that you give me. Thank you, God. And just kind of a gracious kind of thing, thank you. And I would go to that, and then I would be able, and then I was still kind of like at a conscious level, and I would, I would go through that, but then I was still wholeheartedly aware. I was still aware, and kind of this thing, because I'd be like, I'd be meditating with God, and I managed to sit there and be quiet, and my mind was quiet. I'd be able to finally get to the point where I could quiet my mind, and it took weeks to get to that point. And I'm not talking weeks, oh God, like months or anything like that, but weeks. It probably took me a couple of weeks, and then I went through a period of stage where I would do that, and then and then I'd be sitting there, and then I'd be like and then I might kind of peek over and see what time it is, because we're doing 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night, 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night, and so I'd kind of peek over and see what time it was, because like for instance in the morning, on a bit of a schedule, right? So I'd peek over and see what time it was, and so I went through that period of time, and I would meditate, and I would still go through the same process. And I still pretty much, in order to get myself there, was using God. But it didn't take, like it did in the beginning, of me basically going, Oh, shouldn't have done that. Could have done something to my throat. But anyway, because I really don't have to talk like this. It's just a funny voice. And about after, I want to say like 6 to probably at least around 6 weeks, maybe a little more, around 6 weeks. I'm sitting there meditating, and I'm doing it. I'm consistent with it every day because I wanted to know. And some of you people out there that are searching, is there a God? I wanted to know, and if you want to know, I'm telling you, this bar none will take you to the highway and show you, but you got to be disciplined and you have to go into it without any preconceived notions whatsoever. Oh, I did it and you tried it for a week and it didn't work. You got to keep going until God speaks to you in however he's going to speak to you. And that's going to be unique until your own because all of us are different, you see. Some of us like this. I'm like this. You're going to need to go to the next video. Church on Sundays. Yeah.